So in this presentation, we are going to do multiplying a decimal fraction by a decimal fraction. I have my first problem here. 2/10 multiplied by 3/10. So I have here 2/10 multiplied by 3/10. So here we are starting with 2/10. We want to take each of the 2/10 in 3/10 times. We cannot readily do that. So what do? Let's try to change our multiplier to a whole number. You remember when we were doing common fraction, we had like half here, and we multiply. We want to make it look differently. We can multiply by 3/3, or 4/4, or 5/5. So 3/3, for instance, as we have here, is 1. So any number multiplied by 1 is that number. We already know that. So here we see that if we've done that, 1/2, we multiply that by 3/3, we are getting 3/6. So 1/2 and 3/6, they are the same thing, the same value. So in the same way, if we want to change this 3/10 into a whole number, we can multiply by 10. So let's do that. Let's multiply everything here by 10. So 2/10 multiplied by 3/10. If we do that, we want to multiply everything by because our goal is to change this multiplier 3/10 to a whole number. So we have 3/10 and multiplying that by 10. We are now going to have 3. Then the multiplicand, we have to divide that by 10. So if we divide the multiplicand, which is 2/10, we divide that by 10. We are going to have remember, the decimal point will go to the left one time. So we are going to have 200. So we started by multiplying 2/10 by 3/10. And we said we need to change the multiplier to a whole number, 3/10 to 3 in this case. To achieve that, we have to multiply the multiplier by 10. If we multiply the multiplier by 10, we have to divide the multiplicand by 10. So that's what we have here, 10/10 multiply. Remember, 10/10 is the same thing as 1. Just like when we multiply in common fraction when we multiply half by this kind of value 3 over 3, which is the same thing as 1. And on any number multiplied by 1 is still that number. The value does not change. It only changes the way it looks. So the same principle applies here. We are multiplying this whole expression by 10 over 10, which is simply 1, because we want to make the multiplier a whole number. So to do that, we multiply that by 10. 3 tenths taking 10 times will give us 3. And then we now divide the multiplicand by 10. So 2 tenths divided by 10 will give us 2 hundredths. So now we can do 2 hundredths multiplied by 3. And that's what we have on the board. So we can do finally 2 hundredths can multiply that by 3. And we see right there that we have 6 hundredths. Let's do another problem. So again, we have this problem, 6 and 23 hundredths multiplied by 6 tenths. So again, we have to try to change the multiplier to a whole number. And to do that, we have to multiply by 10, and we have to divide the multiplicand by 10. So 10 tenths. This is just like one whole number. So you say multiply the multiplier by 10. And then we now divide the multiplicand by 10. So let's go ahead and do that. We divide 6 and 23 hundredths. We divide that by 10. That will give us, remember, the decimal point will go to the left one time or one place. So we are going to have 623 thousandths. Now we multiply the multiplier by 10. So the multiplier 6 tenths, multiply that by 10, we are going to have 6. So finally, we have our problem changed to 623 thousandths multiplied by 6. Now we can use our material to do that. So we change this to 6 whole number, and this now is 623,000. So let's change that. 3,000. $23 hundredths. 2 hundredths. 2 hundredths. And we have 6 tenths. 6 tenths. So we can change this now. Multiplicand. 3,216. So 3,000 multiplied by 6, we are going to have 3,000 one time, 3,000 two times, 3,000 three times, 3,000 four times, 3,000 5 times, 3,000 6 times. So let's put that together and do our exchange. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. So we exchange that for 100. So let's go to the next category. 200s multiplied by 6. So 200 one time, 100 two times, 200 three times, 200 four times, 200 5 times, 200 6 times, 5, 6. So 200 taking 6 times. So let's put all that together. And let's see what we have here. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. So let's exchange that for 1,000. So we have exchanged 10 hundreds for 1/10. So let's go on to the next category. 6 tenths times 6. So 6 tenths times 6, what would that give us? Let's go ahead and lay our quantities. So we see our quantities right there on the board. 6 tenths times 6. 6 tenths taking 1 time, 6 tenths, taking 2 times, 6 tenths, taking 3 times, 6 tenths, taking 4 times, 6 tenths, taking 5 times, 6 tenths, taking 6 times. So let's put all these quantities together and see what product we are going to have. So we see the answer right there, 3 and 6 tenths. So now let's put all our quantities together and see our final product. So let's put our problems in their original place. 623,000 multiplied by 6. So we see our final product, 3 and 738 thousandths, which I have here. 623,000 multiplied by 6 equals 3 and 738 thousandths. So we can do that directly on paper. So remember, the goal is always to make the multiplier a whole number by multiplying the multiplier by 10 and dividing the multiplicand by 10. So we ended up having this problem, which is what we have here. And I've written the problem again this way, so I can do my multiplication on paper. So let's go ahead and do that. 3 times 6, 18. 2 times 6, 12. And plus 1, 13. 6 times 6, 36. Plus 1, 37. Because we have a decimal point here. So we see we have done the same thing on paper. So 623,000, multiply that by 6. We are having a product of 3,738,000. Is this a reasonable answer? Yes. We are taking a little more than 6, as you see here. We are taking a little more than 6, and we are multiplying it by a little more than half, and we should get a little more than 3.5, which is what we have here. So look at what we have here. Look at the original problem. We have 6, but just a little more than 6, and we are multiplying that by a number that's just a little more than half, and we are getting an answer which is just a little more than 3.5. So it's a reasonable answer. Now we have this problem. We are taking 2/10 and we are multiplying that by 16/100. So remember, we always try to change our multiplier to a whole number. In this case, we have 16/100. So what do we do to make this multiplier a whole number? Go ahead and do that, and then you can compare with what I have here. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. 2/10 multiplied by 16/100. I'll multiply this whole problem by 100 because I want 16/100 to change to a whole number. So I multiply by 100 and divide my multiplicand by 100 so that the value can remain the same. You remember? So what I've said is that you multiply the multiplier by 100 and divide the multiplicand by 100. So let's go ahead and do that. Our multiplicand, we divide that by 100. And that will give us, remember the decimal point will go 2 places to the left. So we have our 2, so that will make our decimal point 1 place, 2 places. So that will now be our multiplicand, and then our multiplier, because we have 0 right in front, our multiplier will now be 1600. We multiply that by 100, and then we have 16. We can now rewrite our problem. $2,000 multiply that by 16. So let's rewrite our problem vertically. We have 2,000 multiply this by 16. So we have rewritten our problem as 2,000 multiplied by 16. So we start by multiplying by 6 to get the first partial product, and then we multiply by the 10 or 1/10. So let's go ahead and do that to get our first partial product, and then we are going to multiply by the 1/10 to get our second partial product. So let's do that. 2 times 6, that's 12, and 0 times 6, 0, plus 1, 0 times 6, 0. So this is our first partial product. It's our first partial product. Now let's multiply by the unit. 2 times 1, 2. 0, 0 times 1, 0. And 0 times 1, 0. Now this is our second partial product. So we can now add the partial products and get our final product. 2 plus 0, here there is nothing, we can put 0 here. This is 2. 1 plus 2, 3. 0 plus 0, 0. So this is our final product. So we see that when we multiplied 2,000, or as we have it here, 2,000 by 16, we are ending up having a product of 32 thousandths. So you can go ahead now and write your problem, write different problems just like we have here, decimal fraction multiplied by decimal fraction, and you can use your material, decimal board, or you can do it on paper. When you feel you don't need material anymore, you can go ahead and do it on the paper or in your notebook, just as we have done here.